welcome to the Activated Story Theater's 123rd podcast.
This episode we bring you The Drum, a story from India. Hi, I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Dennis.
And together we are the
Activated Actors.
So we are coming to you from Wilmington, Delaware, where we are performing as this podcast goes up. We actually record the day before we publish the podcast, which we try to do on the 15th of every month. Thereabouts. We get it up when we can. So happy to have you here with us. Welcome if you're a new listener, and thanks to all of our listeners who have been with us since, 2006?
2006. That's when we started, yes.
Oh my, that's like 6 years.
It's not only like 6 years, it is 6 years. It's six and a half years we've been doing it.
Not bad at all. So, we've been doing some traveling since we last spoke to you. Last time we were coming to you from Salem, Massachusetts.
We've been dodging Sandy.
We have. We got lucky. We didn't really get hit by Sandy per se. We did have a show that had to be postponed. It was in New York City. And they were okay. Some of their students and staff were put out by the storm, but the school itself was okay, and the neighborhood it was okay, and that was in Jackson Heights, Queens, New York. So they got pretty lucky.
There were a lot of the gas stations around there were closed.
Oh yeah, well we kept hearing, there's lines at the gas stations, and then we go down there and we're like, there's no lines, and then we realized, the gas station's closed because there was no gas.
And the one station we did see open had a line not only of cars, but of pedestrians carrying 3 or 4 gas cans to fill up.
Yeah, so they were pretty affected by that in that area, and then coming to New Jersey as well. So, best wishes to everybody that's been affected by the storm Sandy.
And we hit our first snowstorm of the winter.
Out of nowhere. All of a sudden, big flakes came down. And we hid out with our nephew in Connecticut while that came through. Then luckily the next day it was sunny, and even a couple days later I was wearing shorts again. So this weird weather this year.
What else? Kimberly took another trapeze class.
I did, and I'm thinking I'm going to do it again. I love trapeze. If you're ever out on the East Coast, and actually they've got one in Chicago and one in Los Angeles. I think we may have talked about this in a previous podcast a few years ago.
Well, last year we did. We both went to this place in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and I just had to do it again because I was thinking about it all year.
So this time just she did it. But,
well, you said it made you sick.
Well, I said it upset my stomach a little bit, and my stomach was already upset a little bit, so I didn't want to do it this time. But if we do it in D.C., then I'll probably do it again. Yeah,
so love trapeze, lots of fun. I wish I could do it more often, but my pocketbook's glad I can't.
It's kind of expensive.
So, are we ready for a story?
Yes, and this story is suitable. It can be considered suitable for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or both. Oh, I had to tell you something. Speaking of that, I have to tell you something.
What's that?
I was in a store the other day, I think a Target store, and I heard a little boy say to his mom, "Mom, they have Christmas decorations up? I thought we had Thanksgiving first."
So, the story is The Drum from India.
Once upon a time, in India, there was a poor woman who lived with one son. And by chance, it was her son. She was a hard-working woman who spent her days grinding grain. She felt sad because she did not have enough money to buy nice clothes or toys for her young son. One day,
"Well, son, I'm going into the village to sell my grain. Is there anything I can bring you?"
"A drum. I'd like a drum, Mommy."
"A drum? You don't quite get the concept of being poor, do you? Oh, you also don't seem to get the concept of a rhetorical question. When I ask if I could bring you anything, I tell you what, I'll look at the drums while I'm there, but I can't promise anything."
"Thank you, Mommy."
of course, the mother did not buy her son a drum or anything else. They were so poor she could barely buy food. She could barely buy punctuation for her letters. But on the way back home, she saw an interesting piece of wood, so she decided to take it to him.
"Yoo-hoo! I'm home!"
"Yay! Did you bring me my drum? Did you? Did you bring me my drum?"
"Well, not exactly. But I brought you this nice piece of wood.
Wood? What am I supposed to do with that? Mom, my friend Ravi has a sitar, and he wants to start a band. I really need a drum.
Well, now, you have to start somewhere. Before you learn how to play a drum, maybe you should just try banging on a piece of wood to get the feel of it. How humiliating for a future star. Very well. I'll give it a try.
So he went out walking with his new piece of wood, and soon he came to a woman who was trying to light a cooking stove. It's not going to work.
Here now, good woman. What are you crying?
I'm trying to light the stove and burn cow chips so I can cook for my family, but it's not lighting. I sure wish I had some wood to burn. It would work so much better.
Well, I just happen to have this piece of wood right here. You can have it if you want it. I think you can get better results out of it than I'm getting.
Oh, thank you so much. This will burn much better than cow chips, and it will smell a lot better, too. Here, please take a loaf of bread with you as a reward for your kindness. Don't worry, I washed my hands after handling the cow chips. So the boy took the piece of bread, but he wasn't really hungry at the moment, so he put it away for later and continued walking. Soon he came to a potter named Hari. Pots for sale, pots for sale. Hey there, young fella. Don't suppose you want to buy a pot, do you?
I think my mom needs one, but I have no money to buy one, sorry.
Oh, I understand. Nobody has any money these days. Such a recession. That's why my family and I are starving. We can't even buy a loaf of bread.
Bread? Well, you can have my loaf of bread if you want it.
Really? Oh, how very generous of you. Here, take a pot as a reward for your generosity.
Oh, I couldn't do that. Pots are so expensive, and I only gave you a loaf of bread.
Well, people normally buy these pots with their dough, but you bought one with your bread. Same difference. Go on, take it. I insist.
Very well. My mother will be happy to get it.
As the boy walked on, he came to the river, where on the riverbank he saw a husband and wife arguing.
Did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Did too. Did.
Excuse me, folks. I hate to interrupt, but why are you arguing? Why are we arguing? Oh, let me see. What? Why are we arguing, dear?
We've been doing it so long I clean forgot.
Oh, yes, I remember now. You said that I broke our last pot, and I did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Did too.
Did
not.
Wait. Time out. Does it really matter who broke it? It's broken. You just need a new pot, right? Well, I just happen to have one right here that I don't need, so you can have it.
Oh, thank you. How very generous of you.
Oh, tell you what. I'll give you this coat. It's getting kind of cold, and you look like you need something warm. I have another coat at home.
Why, thank you. I really appreciate that. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Isn't it wonderful? We have a new pot now to replace the one that got mysteriously broken. And it's even bigger than the old one.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
It is. Look at it. It's bigger
Continuing
than the
on his
old one.
journey, the boy saw a man shivering in the cold, without a coat to warm him.
Excuse me, kind sir, but why are you without a coat when it's so cold?
Oh, I had a coat. A new nice one. But I was attacked by robbers, and they took everything I had, including my coat. All they left me is my horse. They tried to take him, too, but he fought them.
Well, here, why don't you take my coat? You seem to be colder than I am. I'm young and can stay active and warm.
Oh, bless you, my boy. That's mighty kind of you. Here, why don't you take my horse in return for your kindness? I have plenty of other horses at home. And so the boy started home with his new horse. On the way, he came upon a huge wedding party with musicians, the bridegroom and his family, but everyone was just sitting under a tree looking sad.
Hello, everyone. I'm a little confused. I thought weddings were supposed to be happy occasions. Why is everyone so sad?
Oh, the bride and groom have no horse. They had one and it went lame. So now we have nothing to tie tin cans on when they ride away. What kind of wedding is this?
I tell you what, I'll give them a wedding gift of this horse.
Really? Why, that's mighty generous of you. Much obliged, much obliged. What can we give you in return?
Nothing, if you please. I'm happy to help out, and I have helped out many times today. I started out just wanting a drum to play, and instead got many other things that I could pass on to people who needed them.
Drum, huh? Well, one of our musicians has drums. Maybe he'll give you one of them, considering that without your help, he might be out of a job today. Hey, Ringo, how about giving this boy one of your drums? I'll help you find a new one later.
Sure thing!
And so the boy got his drum after all, and it made much better music than the wood, the pot, the coat, or the horse.
And that's the story of the drum.
From India.
Very giving story.
Yes.
Puts me in the holiday spirit. Want to get something and give to somebody.
Kind of similar to a story we did way back 6 years ago.
Was it really 6 years ago?
It was 6 years ago, yes.
Yeah. I like that theme. I like that story. I hope you like that story.
I like that story.
I'm talking to them out there that are listening.
Oh, well,
I know you like that story because you picked it.
We have 2 votes here who like that story,
Okay.
so hopefully it'll be a unanimous decision. After the holidays, we will be returning to Florida to do some performances.
Yes. So if you have a school or library down in Florida, give us a call. The number is 800-429-6576. And we'll see if we can schedule a show for your school or library or other community. And we will be down there in January, early February. And then we start heading west to do programs in the Midwest all the way to California, Oregon. And we're going back to Washington this year. We'll be there by May. So busy, busy, busy. And we hope to see you somewhere down the road.
All right, so that'll wrap it up this time. And
we'll catch you hopefully just before Christmas, December 15th.
Stay activated.
Activated Story Theater is committed to bringing fun, educational shows to schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use physical comedy, American Sign Language, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring multicultural folktales to life. For booking information, check out our website, activatedstorytheater.com, where you can also find out when the activated actors will be performing near you. Read a story or order one of our audio CDs. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or listen on Stitcher. We look forward to your comments and folktale suggestions. Stay activated. Until next time.
Come on, we're inviting y'all. Book people unite, yes, it's time to get involved. Come on, we're inviting y'all. Book people unite, yes, it's time to get involved.
You can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
Now I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite.
Unearth hidden passion.
Come on, we'll have a good time.
Seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
And make a difference. One look can inspire a child. One look can be the one who's coming that helps to change a life.
People unite. Here's why we gotta come together. Put some action to the call.
Put some books into their hands and change their future for good.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite.
Unearth hidden passion.
Come on, we'll have a good time.
Seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
And make a difference. One look can inspire a child. One look can be the one who's coming that helps to change a life.
People unite.
your life.